Hello, welcome to part 2 of making our stained glass project, okay? So, what you'll need for this step is you will need to have, I'm going to use a big piece of black paper to make the main shape of whatever I'm going to do. And then I grabbed some smaller pieces so that I can cut those really cool lines that are in between the stained glass to kind of give it that decoration, okay? So I have that. If you want to make really straight lines, a ruler is always good. Pencil shows up really nice on black. It looks shiny, so I like to use pencil on black paper. And then we'll eventually need glue and we'll need scissors, okay? So the trick to today is you always have to make 2 of everything, because here is my stained glass that I worked on last time. Remember, we were putting tissue paper and glue down. So now here it is, it's stuck to my Xerox sheet that I made. Sometimes if you put these on wax paper, or if you do it on, what do you call it, those sleeves where you can put papers in between the 2 plastic sheets, this will peel off, okay? So the way that I did it, it's not peeling off, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't need to peel off. I'll just have to use this plastic sheet when I start to cut and keep it attached to it, okay? If it peels off, it's a little bit weaker, meaning that this tissue paper and glue that's dried and nice and hard, it is very easily torn, okay? And so it's kind of nice that it's stuck to this. I wasn't disappointed about it. All right, so now I am going to show you how to make your shapes. And I think today I'll just use, let me keep it kind of simple. I'll do a heart. So you could do any kind of shape. You could make birds and butterflies and houses and anything you want. It really could be anything. But I'll just do a heart. I'll keep it simple. And plus then it won't take me so long, so you guys will have some more work time. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking to see how big my colored paper is. And I'm just gonna kind of make a note of that right there. And then I know that I have this whole space that I could make a big shape. And I wanna make the shape big. I don't wanna make it tiny and then only have a little bit of this used. I wanna use as much of this beautiful colored piece of paper that I can. All right, so I am going to make a heart shape. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it could just be kind of stylized. So I'm going to use this paper as big as I can make it. And I measured down to there. I'm going to do the other side. I know it's probably hard for you guys to see on the iPad. So let me cut that out. So I'm going to cut out that shape that I made, the heart. So I cut, and this is going to be the edge of my stained glass shape. The reason I folded the paper is because you need to have 2. Everything you do today, you need to have 2. That way you can glue one to the front and one to the back. And I'll get there in a minute. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You might be like, what is she talking about? Hang on, I'll show you. Okay, let me move that to the side. Okay, so I have my 2 hearts. Let me line them up again, make sure that they match. Oh, no, one got flipped. Kind of glad that happened. Make sure they're match. And now I am actually going to cut the center out because I want this to show through. So I'm going to trace a heart with my pencil. The reason I'm drawing it with pencil first is just so I know where my scissors need to go. Sometimes if you try to just wing it and do it without drawing, sometimes you accidentally make a mistake. The pencil line will remind my brain where I need to cut. So now, to get your scissors in the center, there's a trick. You just fold your paper, just pinch it in the middle of your whatever shape you made. Make a little cut while it's folded. Okay, and now open it up, and now I have a hole right there. So I have a hole, which means I can put my scissors inside. I can put one in the back and one in the front. And now I'm gonna find that pencil line, and I'm gonna go nice and slow. take your time, and you're holding those two pieces of paper together so that they match. Because I want to have two of the same for everything I make today. So I'm cutting around. And, oh, let me hold it up here so it doesn't wiggle. There, I've got it. Okay, so now I will be gluing down one heart to this side, and then I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna be gluing another heart on this side so that they match, okay? You can take this off now, the little strip that has your name on it. I can put that in the garbage. So now I'm gonna open up my glue, and I'm going to glue my heart on there. Let me make sure they match. Let me find the way that they are. Oh, yep, that's the way they look. Okay, so I'm gonna put, oh, my glue is not working. There we go. Sometimes remember there's like stuff on the top of your glue bottle. That time I just didn't have it opened. Okay, so I put glue right there. Now you're going to flip this over, and I'm going to carefully put it down on there. And I know that there's extra around here. We're going to trim this at the very end, okay? Now I'm going to flip it over, and now you can see where that heart is when you hold it up, because this is see-through like a piece of stained glass. So now I know I've got to glue the heart onto there. Make sure it matches first. So I check it. Yep, it matches. Now I'm going to flip it over because I want the glue to be on this side. Okay, so make sure you're kind of thinking about this as you go. So I add my line of glue. Now I'm going to flip it over, put it on top, and try to line it up as best as you can, and kind of just tap it down so it sticks on there. Okay, and now you could go around the edge and you can trim off the extra. If you wanted to keep it and make like littler hearts, if I wanted to do that today with this extra, I sure could. That's always an option. Now, this is your chance where you get to add some detail. Okay, so let me cut this, and it's hard to cut through this. You're gonna have to use your muscles today. There we go. Cut the extra. There. Let me move all this stuff to the side. Oh, look at how cool it's looking already. It's not quite dry, so I gotta make sure I'm careful with it. Now, I can use this paper, and I could cut some really skinny lines, and I can start to add like designs into my, maybe I'll do a long one now. I'll do a long one right here. So I'm cutting just skinny back lines. If you're not getting them very straight, and you want them straight, that's when you use your ruler. Okay, so I could make another one right there. Maybe I'll do another one. And we're gonna glue these down, and then the extra that's hanging off the side, you're just gonna trim it like you did before with the stained glass part. So maybe I'll do one line like that. Then I could use my extra, make another line like that. And I like it. I like how that looks. So I'm gonna start to glue those down. And then I have to make the same lines for the back. Remember, you have to do 2 of everything. So if you're making some really complicated shapes, these lines are pretty simple. I know that I can cut them out again to make them for the back. If you're making, like say you're making a house and you wanted to make windows and doors, you need them to match exactly. So what I would recommend for you guys is fold your paper in half, then draw all the shapes that you're going to put on here for these cool designs in the middle of your stained glass, so that you always get 2, okay? So think about what you're doing. If it's something really complicated, then fold your paper. It makes it so much easier to have two of everything. Put this one down, and then I'm done. Now, there is a little extra. Oh, I have to do the back too. Can't forget that. Trim that off, and trim this little part off. And now I'm gonna flip it, and I'm gonna make those lines on this side too. So I'm gonna get my paper, and I'll cut that out again. And then I will have a beautiful work of stained glass. I hope you guys have fun.